Raunaq Khan. I have been designated and recognized as the ninth Nizam of the Asijai dynasty by my family. Dynasty is just another word for a royal family, and I am a bit unprepared for this because I was told that this is a seminar of scholars, and I was told to abstain from talking much on this seminar, in this particular seminar, as this is a job reserved for scholars who researched on the history of the Nizams. It's not like a personal thing, right? It's a historical thing. When the Nizam Kamaruddin came to Hyderabad in 1913 first, but later on in not 19, sorry, 1713, and after 1724 he stayed here. So somehow the dynasty is counted from that time, from a war he had, which was called Battle of Shakarkhela, with the governor of Hyderabad called Mubarak. So it's marked. This is his dynasty is marked from there, and he was designated the title of the Asif Jah, and also Nizam al-Mulk, which was earlier. And so I can make a few mistakes because I'm not a historian.
సరేరా
So this history is
అప్పట్లో నిజాములు చాలా మంచిగా బతికేవాళ్ళు ఇప్పుడు ఎందుకు బతకలే ఎలా ఉన్నాడు అసలు
and this history is tracked down as a 300-year centenary kind of a celebration, summing up the whole thing from 1724 to now it is 2024, and this is December. So we waited till the end because there are lots of things happening. We didn't do it in the middle of the year because every day there are new developments, new cases, new. Up to 1948 was the rule of the Nizams. After 1948, the army took over. So there were no more Nizam of Hyderabad because Hyderabad, joined India into an Indian democracy. So there were no more Nizams of Hyderabad because Hyderabad was gone. And about in 1971, there's a rule that there were no privileges given to the Nizams or any royal family in India. And so that also included titles and all. So trying to say a Nizam of Hyderabad is a little, not a very proper way to put it. So I would like to say that I'm the Nizam, ninth Nizam of the Asif dynasty as designated by my family. And I wish I could get more time. Anyway.
సార్ एक ओपन मॉल तो
बदले निजाम बहुत अच्छा जीते थे अभी कुछ कैसा है कि कैसा है प्राइस
There are different conditions of some of the Nizams of the direct family who kind of managed to stick on to the property or claim properties, which were sometimes legal and sometimes not even legally. They've done very well for themselves. And some of the family they were not trained to make money for themselves. So some of them are very badly off. So I have to help them. I'm a Nizam now, not for the pomp and splendor of, the old splendor of the Nizams, who was the richest man in the world. And my job is now to look after the family and bring them into the mainstream democratic India.
వై నిజాం సార్ మోస్ట్
So you can shake off their old past and, think that they're living in a fairy tale world of the Nizams. So they have to now get integrated into society, get jobs and all that, and get their rights also. A lot of properties are stuck with the government and they don't have a cohesive effort to kind of fight for the properties and all that. So as a head of the family, I'm going to do all that for them.
వై నాట్ నిజాము ఎందుకు బతవాలి ఎందుకు బతక
हैदराबाद में तकरीबन निजाम कैकुन है
Sorry?
हैदराबाद
ये लाइट्स बहुत पावरफुल है भाई, समझ नहीं आ रहा है, कुछ भी नहीं दिख रहा मेरे को आज लाइट. Sorry, क्या?
హైదరాబాద్ అనుకున్నా తెలుగు నిజాంలో హైదరాబాద్ కొన్నట్టుగా
Yeah, everybody stays in Hyderabad. Only one Nizam, one particular Nizam, was designated by his grandfather. He moved to Australia. That reason is unexplained, which I don't think he was very happy, maybe because of the treatment given to him, the troubles he faced from the rest of the family, and maybe the demands of the rest of the family, which were probably valid. And he was not very interested in being here. And he was a very casual person. Maybe he didn't want the disrespect or the respect given to him. He just wanted to live his life, so he just moved off to Australia. There is just one Nizam, and all the other Nizams were here. To the last ruler, Usman Ali Khan, he was the Senate. In fact, after he was even deposed, after he had to give up his seat as the Nizam, he remained as the governor of Hyderabad for several years. He died in 1976 or 67, sir.
అప్పట్లో నిజాంకి చాలా ఆస్తి ఉండేది ముఖ్యంగా
शाम को जब प्रॉपर्टीज ज्यादा खाए अपनी ये
कम है कि कम पहले कैसा कैसा नहीं है, पहले तो रूल उनका था। कई प्रॉपर्टीज तो जब शेयर करी, जब इंडिया बना तो प्रॉपर्टीज वे शेयर विद इंडिया। तो कई प्रॉपर्टीज इंडियन टेरिटरी में चले गए, इंडियन गवर्नमेंट के हो गया। जो पब्लिक प्रॉपर्टीज थे, जो उनके पर्सनल थे, वो भी कई थे। उसमें क्या करे वो लोग, उनका इतना बड़ा ऑर्गेनाइजेशन था, उसके रिकॉर्ड्स रखने के लिए वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन खत्म हो गया। ऑर्गेनाइजेशन आ गया इंडिया का। तो अब आपको मालूम है यहाँ पे कैसे रहते, रेवेन्यू के जो डिपार्टमेंट के रहते, कलेक्टर्स वगैरह, वो लोग रिकॉर्ड्स दबा दिए, वो लोग नाम चेंज कर दिए, रिकॉर्ड नहीं रहते, जीतने नहीं रहते, मिस रिप्रेजेंट करते। तो बहुत बड़े प्रॉपर्टीज है ना वो, गवर्नमेंट के प्रॉपर्टी उतने उन लोगों के भी थे। 90,000 स्क्वायर माइल्स था वो। यहाँ हैदराबाद इज नॉट हैदराबाद बाय द वे। यहाँ से लेके महाराष्ट्र पूरा औरंगाबाद हैदराबाद था, बिदर वगैरह इन कर्नाटका हैदराबाद था। तो उसके जो प्रॉपर्टीज है, उसके ऊपर जो गवर्नमेंट है उन लोग उसके ऊपर हावी हो गए। दे नॉट डोंट मेक इट इजी, यू नो हाउ मच दैट रेक केपिज्म मुश्किल है ना वो निकालना, पेपर्स वगैरह। और जब आपको कोई नहीं देना चाह रहा, और मुश्किल हो जाती है। एंड यू नीड मनी टू गेट दोज रिकॉर्ड्स आउट, एंड इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट बिकॉज लॉट ऑफ देम डोंट हैव मनी। सो उसमें क्या हो रहा है, बीच में लैंड ग्रैबर्स वगैरह आके एडवांटेज ले लेके कलूडिंग विद गवर्नमेंट ऑफिसर्स वगैरह, कुछ भी कर ले रहे, बेच दे रहे होगा। और सो दैट्स माय रोल नाउ, because now I'm trying to get all the family together under one roof, and a lot of them have come under me. So initially there were about 4,000 people in a society. Then I realized in a court you can't just go by oral. So I started collecting papers. I got about 2,000 signatures, and then now I'm in the process of making them legally valid. So we have about 900 signatures which are notarized and on stamp paper and everything, acknowledging me as a ninth Nizam of the Asif dynasty, and to represent them in court. And then there's a separate group which is of the seventh Nizam. Seventh Nizam was the last ruler, and they feel everything came to the seventh ruler, and the seventh ruler's children should divide the property, not from the previous Nizam. You get my point? So the seventh people also, seventh descendants, seventh Nizam's descendants also have joined me. About 90 of them have signed me. In fact, they are like big-hearted enough to tell me that if I get something, they will give me a solid share out of it, and I reduce that share just to a working level kind of a thing. I mean, initially I have to put on the money, but I told them I'm a bachelor and I don't need money for myself, and I just need what I spend. So I'm doing that for the 7 people, but for the 1 to 6 Nizams, you know, up to 1 to 6 Nizam, I'm doing it to them as a service. And they are backing me in very, very large numbers. So the majority of them are with me. There are very few people, and few people for the opposite side who's trying to claim the properties on his own as if it's, the dynasty still exists. Like you get it from father to son kind of a thing. Doesn't happen that way. India is a democracy now, and we go by, for Muslims, Sharia is applicable. Sharia means like all brothers get equal, and girls have a separate kind of a share. But brothers are all equal. So you're from the same footing. So it doesn't go to one person like it used to do once upon a time. And the many things they have to understand. And it's not like Father Nizam, the last person who died, Mukhar Nizam was considered the eighth Nizam, was only a titular Nizam, if I have a rule. The seventh Nizam himself was a titular ruler. Before that, he was a real thing, but only for a short time. Last 19 years of his life, he was, an Indian citizen, maybe a governor for some time, but he was an Indian citizen. The very first Nizam, he designated the founder who set the rules. He designated his daughter, Khairunissan's son, Muzaffar, as a successor. But even what the Nizam says does not happen, because if you're not powerful enough, somebody will go through you. Not the first Nizam had a son called Nasir Jan, and he was not